Good morning everybody and welcome to today's video. I'm super excited to be back here at Protective Film Solutions. I haven't been here since last weekend, which was their open house, and if you haven't seen my video on that, you need to watch it. It is the most insane hypercar weekend I think I've ever had here in Southern California. So we're continuing on the hypercar theme today with a Ferrari F12 TDF. I'm walking right around the corner. We're gonna do some photos of this thing, so good morning. This is the TDF, we're out here, this is the F12 TDF that I'm gonna be shooting right now. So we can't really go too far. It is a customer car with Protective Film Solutions, with permission of course. And yeah, so we have some nice train tracks, gonna be taking some photos of the beautiful F12 TDF. Great color too, it's like a dark silvery blue, and all the carbon on here is blue carbon fiber. So that gets a 10 out of 10 for me. Guys, I need to highlight the spec of this amazing F12. All of the carbon fiber is blue carbon fiber. It's got custom NART stripe, which is blue there, that's cool. And the overall color, like a titanium with a slight blue tint. So this is really, really special. We're doing the world's quickest photo shoot. I got here a little bit late and the transport to pick this car up is actually here already. So we're taking about 5-10 minutes and getting a lot of shots in a very minimal amount of time. And the sun's finally out, hooray! Oh, blue carbon interior. Wow. Dry blue carbon. What? That is so cool. I've never seen that on a Ferrari before. Insane. With the yellow stitching and all that. This is pretty crazy. That must have been very expensive to do. OEM from Ferrari, blue carbon. Well, that was a pretty fun and very quick photo shoot to start the day. F12 TDF, especially in that crazy custom specification. I've never seen anything like that, guys. So make sure to check out all the photos on my Instagram. And moving on to the next part of the day, the Fiesta ST. You know, I gotta give it to Protective Film Solutions. They definitely know what they're doing with these cars. It seems like they always have something new coming in. So that was fun. That was a quick photo shoot back in the ST. I'm gonna head over to Newport and go check out what's around there. And I also wanna talk to you guys about my Fiesta ST because I haven't properly introduced this to the channel yet. So we're gonna go a little bit more in depth with this car. So I'm filming the car and I noticed this little pathway down here by the park that I'm filming at. So I took a little walk and it goes down to a really nice off-road like photo location just down there. So I figured, you know, let's go off-road the Fiesta. Let's see how she does. Off-road tires, definitely not off-road tires at all. I got pretty lucky, guys. That off-road path goes right into this open kind of like storage area. It's probably used by the city for whatever, but what better place to take the Fiesta ST and do some rally style donuts. So Protective Film Solutions was a lot of fun and I always love visiting there and seeing all the hypercars and taking photos and whatnot, but today is primarily about my Fiesta ST. So I haven't properly introduced my new car to you guys and I feel like I should do a proper video to introduce to you my new daily driver for the next 3 years. So for those who have been watching my previous videos, you guys know that I had the BMW i3 and while I didn't necessarily enjoy that car for my lifestyle, I felt that I needed a change really quickly and you know, I just needed to get out of that car. So I got into the brand new 2017 Ford Fiesta ST. Makes about 200 horsepower and 200 foot-pounds of torque stock. So it won't stay stock for very long, don't worry guys. But for right now, for all intents and purposes, we'll use stock power figures. I do have plans to get my car tuned and a lot of other performance style upgrades very soon, but you know, I'm just waiting. I've only had the car for about a week or so I just want everything to break in and, you know, fully get used to it before I start throwing a list of modifications at it. So I ended up going for the Fiesta ST because it is so much cheaper to insure. The insurance policy on this car, I'm saving almost $200 a month because of that smaller engine size and because of the more doors on this car. So for that alone, that was almost a huge deciding factor to get a new car. When it comes to fun per dollar, I really don't think I could have done any better than the Fiesta ST. It's so much fun. The car weighs 2,700 pounds and it has 200 horsepower, 200 torque, and of course a 6-speed manual gearbox. It truly is just a laugh. I'm excited to get the Fiesta because for 2017, this is actually the last Ford Fiesta that's going to be in our country for at least 2 or 3 years. The next generation Fiesta, which they've already announced, they said that's not coming to the US market during the entire production run. So that leaves at least, you know, a 3, 4, 5 year gap where this is the last Fiesta in the country. Now that doesn't make anything more special, it just kind of makes me feel, better when I don't see the next generation on the road in a year or two. We'll still be seeing the 2017, 2016 Fiestas for at least the next 4 or 5 years, and if Ford ever decides to bring the Fiesta ST back over to the States, which you should if you're watching Ford, come on. All that power, and I know guys, it's making a ton of power, right? All of that is sent to the front wheels via a front wheel drive system. So every box is basically checked for a hot hatchback. It does have 5 doors, which normally hot hatchbacks are just, a coupe or little 3 doors basically. But I needed the extra doors for insurance purposes. It's saving me so much money per month that, those doors can stay. So now that I've introduced you guys to my car and kind of the reason why I got the Fiesta ST, I want to share with you 5 things that I truly don't like about this car. And keep in mind, I did a lot of research on, what cars I could buy in the market and what really is the best move. I went for this car because even with my list of gripes, I still think this is my best choice. First thing on the list of complaints, I do not like how Ford used the exact same headlights that's in the standard Fiesta. For the Focus ST, they use the same headlights that have a black interior and they have daytime running lights, which look so much better. But for the Fiesta ST, there's no difference. Another thing that annoys me about the Fiesta is the asymmetrical exhaust. I get that there needs to be 2 exhaust ports, but why can't you do one on that side and one on that side instead of 2 on the right? That's just making my OCD go crazy. Oh, and look, I didn't even notice this before. It's fake grille. Wow. Come on, Ford, you could have got a little cheaper on us. I do quite like the little spoiler here. It's just got a cool little design. I'm sure it gives no real downforce and it's just for looks, but I think it looks significantly better with this spoiler on. I've always been pretty cautious and stayed away from owning American cars because I feel like the quality with them, it's just not there. I mean, we've all heard of the government bailouts with the big 3, and Ford is definitely known for cutting a lot of corners. So quality-wise, I think a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about when it comes to American cars, and rest assured, the Fiesta is full of a lot of cheap accenting, which I'll show you more. Welcome to the inside of my Fiesta ST. I want to show you guys the seats because I ended up going with the optional Recaro ST racing seats. I love how these are two-tone. This is the only one in Southern California that I found with this two-tone reddish-orange interior. So after seeing the interior, I immediately fell in love with this spec, and as you can see, she's now in my hands. One of the cheapest parts of this car are the way the windows roll up. So the driver's side is the only automatic window in the entire car. It's really frustrating that Ford did this because when I roll the automatic window up, I still need to hold the passenger one, so it's like the driver window shouldn't be automatic anyway. It just, it's so half-assed. I absolutely hate the steering wheel on my Fiesta, guys. It's all artificial leather, so all this leather that you see here, it's not real leather. It's very fake, and it hurts. It's rough to the touch. It messes with my fingers when I'm trying to drive hard. It just isn't comfortable in any way, shape, or form, and it collects a lot of moisture. All this perforation there, that does nothing when you have fake leather. If it were real leather, the perforation would be worth it. Not really too much to complain about the center part of the car. The gear shift is very nice. I do wish that this entire thing sat a little bit taller, but it's not the end of the world. I actually really like the infotainment system. It's not as pretty as the BMW iDrive that was in my i3, but this has actually more features than the BMW had. It's just not as pretty laid out, but more features, so I can't complain at all. So besides cheaping out on the steering wheel and on the windows, they also cheaped out on the rear view mirror. Instead of an auto dimming mirror, which is pretty much standard in cars of this level at the industry, they went with the silly folding mirror, so every time it gets dark out, every day I need to flip this freaking thing and it gets so annoying. Come on, Ford, why? So Ford, let me get this straight. Instead of putting in a rear view camera in the car and instead of doing fully automatic windows, you decided, you know what? Let's hit them with the $50 gimmick light trick. So instead, you guys gave me a $50 light in my cup holder that changes color when I hit a button. And you can't even see it during the daytime, only at night. So definitely, I want to thank you guys for that. Much more useful than a backup camera or automatic windows, I swear. So I've shown you guys the inside and outside of the Fiesta ST, and you've learned what I like and don't like about it, but now it's time to actually drive the car and get it out on the canyons. So I'm really excited to be really close to a local canyon. I'm gonna go home real quick, swap some things out, and then go hit the canyon. So driving the Fiesta ST, genuinely great experience. The gearbox, fantastic. The steering, even though I hate the steering wheel very much, the actual steering feel and all the feedback and everything, A+. Really one of the greatest cars in that regard. But we're really gonna push it on the canyon now. It's basically after break-in period. I've just been kind of babying it until it breaks in, which is right about now. Jump time. Oh, that's so fun. That is so fun. And now up the hard canyon. Here we go. Oh yeah. I've got a Volkswagen GTI in front of me. They're not doing anything, guys. They're going well slow. Oh yes, we have a big corner right here and power out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, front wheel drive. Not dramatic. Oh, just so fun. This is one of those cars where you could push it as hard as you want and it's not gonna slide out or anything. My Fiesta ST is making 203 horsepower and about 200 torque. And all Fiesta STs are like within the 200 to 205 range for both torque and horsepower. So that's pretty good considering it's just a little four banger. Nice, that guy let me over. What a nice guy. No one ever lets me over. Now this, guys, this is why you buy the Fiesta ST. It's for roads like this in a nice tucked little canyon. That's where the lightness and the sportiness of this car really comes alive. All right, we're at the bottom of the canyon. Time to go back up. There's red line, 6,500 RPM red line. Relatively low, but kind of standard on turbo cars. There's no play whatsoever in the steering. It is so precise, it's so on par, and the weight is very nice. I don't know if it's hydraulic or electronic. It feels hydraulic. I should probably know what my steering is in my own car, right? But I've had it less than a week, so forgive me. When you keep it in the higher RPMs and the turbo is just there every time you hit the throttle, oh God, this is so fun. Man, I might not even need to tune my car, just come back in the canyons all the time. Holy cow. Oh God, this is so good. Canyon carving in a 5-seater hatchback. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that this is the most fun way and the cheapest way for me to have a daily driver? This car is so predictably smooth. It's just so nice. Front wheel drive means that you could power out of the corners. I'm not getting much understeer because I'm really not pushing 10/10ths. It is a canyon after all. And traffic. All right, time to settle down. Well, I gotta say, guys, that was pretty fantastic. I love the Fiesta ST that much more. But this was my first dedicated, genuine performance drive, and holy cow, this thing is a completely different car on the canyons than it is just driving around town. Well, that was a super fun canyon drive in the Fiesta ST. I'm kind of at a loss for words on just how fun this little thing is. The steering is truly my favorite part of the car. The steering is fantastic. It just needs a bit more power, but with simple modifications, especially that tune that's coming in the next couple days, it's gonna make this thing even that much better. So thank you guys very much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next video.